Hi everyone, welcome to my seminar about size coding on Z80 based TI calculators. Most of them have a Z80 at 6 or 15 MHz. They have 24 kilobytes of user accessible RAM. They have a monochrome LCD at usually 92 by 64 pixels, and it also has a TI OS with some routines, but there's some caveats about that. There's also the TI-84 CET, which has an EZ80 at a much higher speed, but it's a somewhat ridiculous instruction set, so don't touch it if you can help it. It has it also has lots more RAM, and it also has a color LCD, which you can use in either a full screen, full color 32 color mode, or a 16 color paletted mode. For Toolchains, there's the Spasm assembler, although there are many other Z80 assemblers out there you could use. But the nice thing with Spasm is that it has an EZ80 mode, and you can also emit TI8x programs. Although some of them need some extra stuff, so for that you need to use WebItSign. For hardware documentation, there's two wiki websites called WikiTI and Chemitech. Emulators are TiTAN for the regular Z80 ones, and there's also CEMU for the CET with the EZ80. You need a ROM dump to use any of those, but you can use TILP to dump the ROM and also to send the programs to your real hardware calculator to actually test them. Now, the 8xp header is quite large, and I haven't really found any tricks to circumvent it because most of it isn't actually loaded into memory, because it seems that the file on disk actually differs from the one that's actually stored in the calculator, so that's annoying. So what I usually also do is that the entire size on the PC side should not exceed 256 bytes, even though the file size on the calculator will be slightly different. And also one thing, the TI OS routine addresses depend on the version, so if you use a routine on the 84 Plus and then try to use the same program on the TI-83, that will crash because all the addresses have changed, which is really annoying. As for graphics, well, you have the monochrome LCD. It has a really slow response time, which is also kind of useful because some people have complimented me about motion blur in it, but that's just an incredibly slow response time. There's also no display driver or anything, so you just have to bit blank data to a port. But there's routines out there. I used the ions put sprite routine for my prod, and that was just fine. So and without it, I would simply not have made that prod. Sound, yeah, you're not going to do that because it doesn't have sound output port unless you're crazy. For an example prod, here's a great twister with no music. It comes with example source code, and here's a twister which was complimented about its so-called motion blur, which is not. So that's about it. Go make an intro.